Hi everybody, back again with another video. This week we are going to be looking at Hikvision's latest menu system that they released earlier this year for their high-end NVRs. They call it Graphical User Interface 5, GUI 5 for short. So we're going to do 3 sections today. First up, I'm going to go on a call with my friend Bryce from Hikvision in London and have a little chat with him about GUI 5. And then I have been trawling through our support call logs and I've pulled out the top 5 things that you guys have been ringing us about this year in relation to GUI 5. So hopefully I'm going to show you how to answer all those queries in a middle section. And then I am going to show you the top 5 features that I'd like you to know, some new, some improved for GUI 5 over any previous versions. So let's get stuck in and we'll get Bryce on the line.
So I'm joined today by my friend Bryce from Hikvision. Thanks for joining me, Bryce.
Yeah.
And
Hi guys. Yeah.
Today we're going to be discussing on my video, Bryce, the new menu system that was released this year, and GUI 5 as it's known. So maybe you could run through a few of the improvements that GUI 5 has over the previous menu system, version 4.
So basically, you mean for the improvements?
Yes.
There is not a very big improvement, but basically I want to say the GUI 5 is much more intelligent than the EUI 4. So it's basically start from 2 points. One is based on its intelligent operation. So the GUI 5 is basically greatly enhance users' interaction with intuitive and smooth experience, and of course like incorporating features like the smart search and active search, and we also do some like slice playback for a much more efficient video management. And another point is just we have some like intelligent connections. So we have some new products called IP speakers. So currently the GUI 5 could greatly support diverse devices integration, just like the IP speakers and also some like host systems, and stores data efficiently as like metadata and events or just video stream like MP4, like this kind of things. Yeah.
Yes. So yes, the audio integration is much easier now on GUI 5. And I'm going to be demonstrating some of those features you mentioned. I'm going to show the time slicing. I'm going to show the active search later on in the video. But Bryce, have you watched the recorders done its support? What can we load GUI 5 onto?
Yes, and currently there's mainly 2 series support the GUI 5. One is for our M series, one of our high-end strong power NVR, and one is our deep in mind M series recorders. And also we have I series, one of our old modules. The I series with E version, IQSense E version, they also support like GUI 5 as well. Yeah.
Okay, and the turbo range is GUI 5?
No. Yeah, no. GUI 5 is only for the NVR side basically, and we do not cover the DVR side. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it's safe to upgrade all our I series at this point?
Yes, I want to say it's very stable right now, because like when the GUI 5 just first come, and we meet a lot of compatibilities, but currently GUI 5 is in the 4th version right now, so it's already very stable with all known bug addressed, and the customer just should feel secure in updating supported modules as the enhancements significantly improve like the system functionality and user experience. Yeah.
Yes, very good. Well, it's very new for our customers. It has been in development for quite a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I think you sent us the first test versions maybe last autumn in 2023. That was the first time we saw it. So it is very settled and stable now. Tell me about what the peak hours it supports. Are there any restrictions, anything we should watch out for there?
No, because like our NVRs have a great compatibility with all of the IP cameras in the market, and we use like the NV protocol to use with the third-party cameras as well. So there's no specific restrictions on IPC compatibility there.
That's great. Sounds good, Bryce. Yeah. I'll try and do it justice when I show it off for my customers shortly in the video. And thank you very much for joining me today.
Yeah, all right. And hope you have a good demonstration.
So the top 5 things you've been asking us how to do or find in GUI 5. Number 1, if you have a PoE NVR, but you want to add a camera that's somewhere else and it's not connected directly to the PoE ports on the machine, how do you do that? You all knew how to do it in the previous versions, slightly different in this one. So I'm going to show you. You go to device access, and traditionally you would have gone in here and edited one of these channels. You would have changed it from plug and play to manual, and then you could have entered the details for your camera. We see here there's no option to edit these, so it's moved over here down on the very bottom left, PoE settings. Here are 8 channels, and it's this setting here. If I expand it, you can see what it's called. Network cameras plug and play. So that's the same as we had before, where we changed from plug and play to manual. So however many channels you need to disable the PoE to allow you to bring in extra cameras from somewhere else on the site. Number 2, where do I turn on my verification code for HitConnect, and how do I change it? First time that this one has tripped us up, but let's have a look. System settings, go to HitConnect as usual. Screen has been majorly overhauled, but what's missing is our verification codes setting that used to be here. Now, most of you have found more settings, and here's our stream encryption, which is the same as the verification code. You can turn it on, no problem. Everyone has found that, but where's the code? How do I change it? How do I find it if I need to enter it into IVMS? Well, it's hiding down here. Verification code, show, or edit. Bit of a dirty one, but now you know. Number 3, a really small one, but we have been asked a few times, where are the PTZ controls gone? Well, not too hard to find. They're in live view, and they're tucked away down here at the bottom. So click this arrow, here they come, and you can go again, get even more, all your presets and everything. Shouldn't cause you too much trouble. One thing to note is if you don't have a PTZ camera installed, this won't appear at all. Number 4, this is a good one. You've been asking us where the alarm output controls are gone. So you want to connect something to the output on the back of the machine, a relay or gate or something, but you can't find where to configure the output. Everyone goes to event configuration, and we can see the input events, and traditionally right beside it would have been the outputs, but they're not there because they've moved over here. Linkage configuration, alarm outputs. Just a bit of housekeeping from Hikvision, I think, but tricky if you don't know where to look. So there you can go and name and change the mode on your outputs as before. And finally, number 5, this is quite a few people. Seems like a bug in maybe some of the earlier version 5 firmwares. What's happening is you go into device access, you successfully add all your cameras like we see here, and then when you go back to live view, but it's blank. So your cameras should have automatically populated your default view, but in quite a few cases they haven't done that, and you guys are having to ring us to figure out what to do next. So all you need to do, and you just need to do it once if it happens to you, is click on channel here and just literally populate out as you want. When you're done, hit the little save icon here. That catches a few of you too. It's not that easy to see. Just that little old-fashioned floppy disk icon to save your view. Sorted. So as I mentioned in the introduction, I also want to show you 5 really good, strong new features of GUI 5. So let's start with the Event Center. Event Center has been totally redesigned, and it pulls in some stuff that was spread out across GUI 4 all into one super easy to navigate page. Starting with our event display, which would have been the old alarms. I can see any of my real-time alarms going on here. Vehicle detections, intrusions, people counting, anything like that. I can watch them back. So, I mean, the content is the same as before, it's just been neatly arranged into one event center. Here's where you or your client can do all the event searches that they might need to do. So if we have perimeter protection set up, we want to search some line crossings, similar to before, but just really well arranged. And we can also configure the events, so we don't have to go to a separate area to do any configuration. They're all in here as before. We can do our linkages, what we want to happen when the event occurs. And this is a neat new feature. We can batch enable or disable for these 5 events on any of our cameras. So we can enable them all in one go. We can enable, say, motion for selected cameras, and we can decide when it's enabled if we want to notify the surveillance center or not. So that's really handy to quickly turn on and off motion, intrusion events, etc. Just a little note here up the top. Obviously, you still do have to go to each camera to correctly configure the event. This just turns it on and off. So really nice new event center. Number 2, not that new, but I just really want to make sure you know how to do it, you and your clients. One of the big functions that needs to be done with a CCD system is, of course, taking backups and recordings for safety onto a USB drive. So let's have a look at the 2 ways to do it. We've always done it in 2 ways. Shorter clips are taken via clip copy. Larger events, multiple hours, multiple cameras, is done through file management. We'll just check out where clip copy is these days and how it looks compared to other versions. Go into playback. Let's start some footage playing and have a look for our scissors. There it is. So that's always been the icon for a clip copy. Hit the clip and then we get the little wizard. When do we want to start? When do we want to stop? So it's just going for 5 minutes there. So that'll do me fine, just for the example. What do I want to take off? Leave it in default format. Where do I want to put it? Just browse to your USB stick. There's mine. Do I want the player? Yes, I do. Click OK. And we can follow its progress up there. So our clip is small, 5 minutes, 1 camera, job done. If I wanted to take more, we'll come out of playback and we go to file management. So let's decide what we want to get here. So we'll go to yesterday and we say we want something that happened at 10 in the morning and finished at midday. And we want 3 cameras, we'll say. Search and export all. So these are going to be pretty heavy clips, close to a gig, half a gig. So you wouldn't manage that with a clip copy, but it's always been the same. We've always used file management for these larger ones. Export all. Again, pick my path. And off I go. Third thing I want to show you is how to do super smart AccuSearches searches in playback. So let's just look at normal playback first of all. I'll take my PanaView camera for today. Murky enough morning here in Cork. So there's my full line up to whatever time it is now. But if I want to filter by human or vehicle, okay, so using the AccuSearch features, let's just click on vehicle. And now we've gone into smart playback. So all the red are vehicle detections, and I can just sit back and the system will play through in sequence, so it skips all the blank bits in between. And just keep an eye on the clock there, 6:12, van arriving, and shortly it'll skip on. There we are, 6:57, the next time it sees a vehicle. That pan of view is covering a huge area, as you see, but the detections are really accurate. And I can do the same for humans. Oh, there's me. Impressively early. And there's one just by the red bin. Yeah, you'd hardly pick it out with your eye, but the system wasn't fooled. There's a human. There's a human. Somebody enthusiastically running across to work. Love their job, I'd say. So, AccuSearch features, bottom left of your standard playback screen. Really useful. Number 4 is a new feature, really handy. I'll show you here. It's in device access, where we're adding cameras, speakers, etc. And it's called batch configuration. And let's have a look through it. So, this is all new for GUI 5. 4 functions. We'll just walk through them. Batch configure IP address. So if I wanted, I could let the system allocate out the IP addresses. I'm terrified I'll accidentally click on that button because this is carefully organized for our own internal cameras. But if you want a nice, quick, simple solution for setting up your IP addresses, this is there for you. Batch time sync is really handy with IP cameras. You know, occasionally you'll see on your live view certain cameras going out of sync with the time. So what we can do here is we can sync the time now, or we can set up a schedule where the cameras will automatically sync to the recorder on a schedule. So you'll see I have it enabled for all my channels here. Or we can just do a sync now. So that's new and very, very handy. Batch OSD config, the third one there. OSD is your on-screen display. And this, I think, is more useful than you might think. If you're setting up a new site, one of the things that you have to do is go in, set up your date formats, set up what you want displayed on the image in the live view. Do you want the camera, name, date, week? And you had to do that individually before for each channel. But if I select all here and go to batch configure, look, I can pick my date format. So we always use that one here. Do I want the name, date, week displayed? Yes, I do. What time format, 12 or 24? And do I want the things like the time and the camera name, transparent, flashing, etc.? There's always been those 4 choices. But this is the first time we've been able to do it and send it to all the cameras with just a couple of clicks. So that's really going to save you a lot of time on new installs. And finally, in this section, we have batch upgrades for camera firmwares. So I can see all my cameras here. I can see the firmwares and the builds and the dates that they're using. I can do a check because I kind of keep on top of these cameras here. They're all showing up to date. And in theory, we could do over-the-air upgrades, OTA upgrades, where the system will pull down the correct camera from Hikvision servers, or else we could download them ourselves, put them on USB and do local upgrades. Obviously you'd want your cameras to be mostly the same for that to be any quicker than the old way. But if OTA upgrades are working, that would be really useful. And finally, a very useful new playback feature. It's called Slice Playback, so you'll find on the normal playback screen, just down on the left-hand side. And how it works is like this. We're going to go to yesterday, December the 3rd, pick an internal camera. So first of all, what it does is it shows you a still from the start of each hour of the day. So we've been told something happened yesterday. between maybe 10 and 1, something involving a guy in a green hoodie. So we want to try and track him down as quickly as possible without using the normal playback screen and just fast forwarding. What we can do is we can pick each hour and slice by minute. And that gives me the start of each minute of the 11 to 12. So at a glance, I can have a look and see, is the green hoodie guy there? No, he's not. Let's move forward an hour. And just at a glance, I can see, yes, indeed. Dodgy looking character, green hoodie on his phone. Easily identified very quickly using slice playback, a lovely new feature. So that's it. Hopefully you found that useful, and there'll be a couple of points in there that'll help you get to grips with GUI 5. My thanks to Bryce for joining me today, and back soon with something else. Thanks for watching.